insane court case I have ever witnessed just ended right now. One of the most famous and prominent rappers in the game, Young Thug, has just been released on probation. Now, you might be thinking, why do we care? Because
Right.
this trial, I've been following it. It is the longest trial that Georgia has ever seen. It is a RICO trial, basically a racketeering trial against a gang. And Young Thug and the gang were facing 45 to life in prison, some insane life sentences for potential murders, racketeering, drug charge, everything you could imagine. So why is this interesting? I'm telling you guys, this trial was so insane, and it was being live streamed the whole time. They're gonna make Netflix series about this 1,000%.
Of course.
This had multiple judges thrown off the case. This had drugs being passed to people inside a court, caught on camera.
The Young Thug RICO case has taken by most accounts an
Pause. Welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. Today we're gonna be going over the Young Thug. He's finally released, right? And we're going to go through the trials and the tribulations of what's going on. Give credit to Aber and Preach and also MTR before I get a chance. Go check them out. Those are my two reference points. But I thought this trial, it was so many misleading things, so corrupt. It shows you how Fulton County was corrupt. It just shows you how the circuit is corrupt. And they got to win as much as Young Thug got to win because he played it, 40 years? Probation. 40 years is a long time, but it's better than being in jail. But that's a long time. One slip up, you're guilty for probation violation. Do y'all think this was fair? This was unjust? Why they didn't just dismiss it? It was too corrupt. You got Little Woody now. He's a celebrity. Gun is now free. Thug is still got to walk in a fine line. Right? Hopefully he still gets to record music. So this is, to me, this is a sloppy case, but nonetheless, let's get to it.
unusual twist, an alleged drug deal in open court. Prosecutors say they have the video to prove it.
Yeah.
This had corruption at the highest level, and it just ended in the most insane way. Where to start? Okay. The DA's office in Georgia is seen as incredibly corrupt. If you're unaware, Fani Willis is the one who's going after Trump for what he did in regards to the election. And there's a lot of things surrounding her and how poorly she runs her stuff.
The allegations stem largely from a contentious divorce involving a key prosecutor in the Trump election interference case. Nathan Wade's estranged wife accused him of having an affair with DA Fani Willis, while at the same time, Willis paying him $650,000 so far.
Whoa. $650,000, right? To pay this man in order for you to make sure that your agenda is basically your agenda goes through. See, it goes to show you the high level of corruption. They even end up firing the judge. Had another judge on the case. The other judge ended up sleeping with the deputy. So I'm like, whoa, this is a sloppy thing that's going on, ain't it? Sloppy thing that's going on. Let's continue.
To run point on the high-profile racketeering investigation.
Actually, I think she's already had one scandal involving a love affair, if I remember correctly. She's up for re-election, and she wanted to get this case out of the way because it's been running for over 2 years,
Pause, though, but another thing I realized, right? Why did they release him before election? The election is November 5th. I've been seeing this was going to happen from the far. They released him before election. That goes to show that maybe the Harris campaign wants some type of, during our case, we released Young Thug and everything else to show how corrupt they may not be. But it still goes to show the system is corrupt. They need to change a lot of things about the system, and this is evidence. And this is the longest trial in history. Can we talk about it? The longest trial in history, 2-year trial. My God, how much did Brian Steele get paid? Leave them comments down below. I really want to know what you think about this one.
when you get a jury in and you're trying, normally most trials you're looking at anywhere from like a week to like 2-3 months. This is 2 years. So let's go back. Jury's brought in. They figure this stuff out. We got the first judge, who is Ural Granville. And from the onset of the case, everything is a mess. The case is moving slow. The state has like 100+ witnesses. They're bringing witnesses back after they've already been on the stand. Everything is super confusing, and the judge is not controlling it. The defense and the prosecution are going after each other, accusing each other of withholding evidence. It is, if you were just a third-party observer watching live stream and this is your first time seeing anything in court, you were like, oh, we're in a third world country. That's how crazy things were. Then you have one incident where somebody seemingly tries to hand drugs to one of the defendants. But the place where this trial got international acclaim and became a big deal was when the prosecution and the judge decided to have an ex parte meeting in their chambers with a sworn-in witness. Okay. Now, this witness, for context, was a key witness for the state. They did not want to testify. They wanted to plead the fifth, which meant they didn't want to incriminate their stuff. They didn't want to talk.
Right.
And they were now going into the judge's chamber with the prosecution without the defense's knowledge. The defense ends up finding out about it. And what they're alleging they've learned about the meeting is that essentially, one, it was improper. Two, they were trying to coerce the witnesses to testify. Three,
imagine how many times, right, if you don't have a correct lawyer, or you didn't pay for your lawyer, or you had a court representing lawyer. Imagine the things that they do. They want you to follow the rules and the regulations. But it seems to me, in order for them to get some type of conviction, right, they don't follow their own rules and or regulations. So are there rules to govern you? Because it seems to me that the people who bend the rules are obviously the people who make it in this world, right? And the people who follow the rules are obviously the people that don't really make it in this world, not to the highest degree. So are rules meant to govern one? You know, what y'all thought about that? And if he didn't have Brian Steele that was actually on the case and making sure that these things, everyone was held accountable for their actions, right? How many cases you think that this ended up happening? They just getting caught for this one. How many other cases do you think in Atlanta or in Fulton County that this exact thing ended up happening? Can we talk about it? Leave them comments down below. I really want to know what you thought about this.
Judge was in helping the prosecution to make this shit happen. So they go into open court and Brian Steele calls out the judge in front of everybody. The judge loses it.
And what I found out just recently, this is not waived, is that supposedly on recorded times, district attorney or district attorneys from the DA's office, as well as investigators, sheriff deputies, Mr. Copeland and his counsel met together. None of the defense team, to my knowledge, was aware that this was going on. It was told, based upon information belief, that it was told to the district attorneys that Mr. Copeland intended to plead the Fifth Amendment. To me, that never...
Mr. Steele, can I interrupt you for just a second? I'm kind of disturbed because that's ex parte. All that was an ex parte conversation.
He's disturbed because now the pressure is just now on the judge. Judge, what are you judging there? Obviously, you need to be judging yourself, but yourself through this through these lenses to let us know what's really going on. Are you holding up to your integrity? Are you holding up to the laws that you're supposed to be holding up to? Because it seems to me you're a filthy animal as well. Let's continue.
How did you find out about any of that?
Well, I'm disturbed too. And the reason
I'm asking you a question. How did you find out about it? Well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this.
This man want to know, how did you know? That's how you know you're guilty, Judge. Hey, how did you know about this? Did you know that we really did it? And if so, who told you? Because if whoever told you, we got to make sure we get him. This judge a gangster, ain't he? Let justice be served. Let justice be served.
Information, then you and I are going to have some problems.
we can have this. I have problems right now.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems. Okay, at this point in time.
How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's not testifying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly
That's
this honorable court,
okay.
or excuse me, let me rephrase that. This court supposedly said, I can hold you until the end of this trial. Ms. Hilton supposedly said, actually, all of the defendants and then all 26 people are disposed of. If that's true, what this is coercion, witness intimidation, ex parte communications that we have a constitutional right to be present for. So I understand that you're upset towards me, but I don't know what I did.
Mr. Steele, I still want to know, how did you come upon this information?
He want to know the source. Little thing did he know this is an open source thing, right? Let's give a round of applause. Let's give a round of applause to Brian Steele. Because to me, Brian Steele, he showed that, look, when you pay these lawyers an egregious amount of money to represent you, right? And it seems to me, obviously, his money was well represented, right? He challenged the court. He even said, you know what? I don't mind going in for my defendant because you guys are obviously doing something illegal. So if you're doing something illegal within the court, what does that mean? Misled trial. You need to drop it. But they couldn't even drop the case. That's how you know when you get inside of the court system, it's really not in your favor because they couldn't even drop the case. Everything around the case, the credible witness wasn't really credible. The judge ain't credible. The prosecutors was not even credible as well. They was trying to drag their feet and milk the cow. To me, that's all they was doing. They was simply trying to milk Young Thug of all this money, not knowing that he has friends, he has family, he have loved ones, he have people that supports him beyond a reasonable doubt. So thank God for his network. That shows you how your network is extremely important, no matter what you do in this world, right? Good or bad, that's not for us to judge. We want you to do good in this world, but you're living in a wicked world. What do you expect? Right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Let's get it. Yin yang, boom bang.
Who told you?
What I want to know is why wasn't I there? Why,
Sir, I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't tell me who tell me who this
I
information
don't
was
want to
coming
be
from.
held in contempt.
Well,
I'm not
then
answering that question.
I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me who
Contempt. They try to hold this man in contempt. For what? For him exercising his rights and letting you know, hey, judge, I was supposed to be there. Why are you having a conversation without me being there? Basically, you're plotting and planning on our demise, right? Even if you have to make sure you pay the people off, even if you have to make sure that you're propping up a lie, you're still plotting on our demise. So what does that show you? Atlanta, Fulton County, y'all guilty as charged. Let's say that. Court adjourned, guilty as charged. Court adjourned, guilty as charged. Let's go.
If you don't tell me who it is, I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna put you in contempt because
He jails the lawyer for one of the defense. Then the entire bar, which is like the Association for Lawyers in Atlanta, find out. They all show up at the courthouse.
Mr. Steele, I am going to hold you still hold you in summary criminal contempt.
Not the decision many in the courtroom were expecting.
I was surprised by a couple things. First, that the judge held him in contempt.
About a dozen defense attorneys showed up to support Brian Steele, who's representing rapper Young Thug in his criminal racketeering case.
Anytime a member or a criminal defense lawyer is making a motion in good faith and they're being shut down by the judge and threatened with jail, that's scary.
The reason Steele was held in contempt by Judge Ural Glanville?
The judge was having ex parte communications with the district attorney and a witness. That means he was talking to the district attorney and the witness without anyone from the defense being present. And that is generally considered.
Why didn't they put the judge in jail? He should have went to jail. Smash that like button if you agree, because we can't ever hold you to judge your client with a clear eye, clear view vision. You don't have any integrity, Judge. But let's continue. How did you even become a judge?
Considered improper. So Mr. Steele found out about that. He made a motion for a mistrial, and the judge demanded that Mr. Steele reveal that source.
Steele's punishment?
I'm going to order that you be taken into custody, incarcerated in the Fulton County Jail for no more than 20 days for this contempt. Those 20 days consisting of every weekend for the next 10 weekends.
I think it went well. I mean, anytime you walk out of court with your client, that is a good thing.
True.
And I do think that the appellate courts will take interest in this and will probably be able to overturn it.
But they decide to get this judge recused, which basically means the judge is not impartial. He cannot be the judge for this case. That's what they claim.
Right.
And it ends up being approved, not for the ex parte meeting, but because the judge was arguing with the defense when if someone's saying you're impartial, you have to fire it off to another judge to determine. Like, if you're accused of being biased, you can't be the sole determiner of whether or not you're biased. So they fired off to another judge. That judge makes a determination.
We have breaking news in the YSL trial. Fulton County Chief Superior Court Judge Ural Glanville has been removed from this case.
So then they're like, okay, trial's on hold. We got to get a second judge. The next judge comes in. And then she's like, I can't take this case. I think, don't quote me on this, I think one of my officers ended up.
She ended up messing with the officer. You was right on that one. So it's like, it's a bit of incest that's going on in this courthouse, because you're not supposed to talk to your employees, but yet y'all sneaking and geeking around town. All of y'all. Every single body is doing it in Fulton County. What does that show and what does that prove? What does that show and what does that prove? It's a mass amount of corruption. So you telling me, hell, in order for me to get away with anything, I got to sleep with the DA? In order for me to get with anything, I got to sleep with the judge? What? You're going to get caught up in a web of lie. All you need to do is catch one person. The whole web is over with. Spider-Man. Can we talk about it? But let's continue.
One of the defendants, which is like, what the fuck is happening? So she gets removed off the case.
Breaking news right now in the YSL RICO trial involving Atlanta rapper Young Thug. And less than 24 hours after replacing the original judge, the newly appointed judge has recused herself. Judge Shakura Ingram was randomly selected to lead the trial after the...
If I'm judging this correctly, it seems to me that it's filthy down there. If I'm judging this correctly, hell, I should have been the judge for all of that. If I'm judging it correctly, I want to judge this thing correctly now, right? They couldn't get along with the other judge. The other judge doing sneaky things behind closed doors. This new judge, she's doing freaky things behind closed doors. This other judge, they can't get a dismissal worth anything. So this law system is corrupt by any means necessary. They need to update the family court law. You wonder why women are getting incentivized to break up the family. This is the thing that we really need to really be discussing. Can we talk about it? Anyway, let me hit the song real quick. Cook up, cooking up that cook up, cooking up that cook up, cooking up that cook up. I'm cooking up that cook up. I'm cooking up that cook up, cooking up that cook up. Smash that like button, tell a friend. We over here cooking real quick. Just my reaction video to both of these things. Like I say, give credit to Ava and Preach. Go check them out. I'm gonna leave the link down below. And also give credit to MTR, because I'm about to go over and talk about this stuff. Megan Thee Stallion lying on Tory Lanez. I've been said that way back. My channel got ridiculed for saying that. But who cares? Who cares? The truth will prevail. And obviously it's 2 years later. The truth is prevailing.
The former judge, Ural Glanville, was removed yesterday. Ingram says she is removing herself from the case due to a prior professional relationship with a deputy involved in the case.
So then there's a third person that's get put on, and that's where we are with Judge Whitaker.
New at 4, a newly appointed judge took the bench today in the Young Thug RICO trial. Judge Paige Whitaker is the third judge assigned to the lengthy court case.
She sees a case and she's like, yo, this is a mess. You guys have been going for a year. You have no idea how to litigate this. She's yelling at this state a bunch of times. And to be fair, she did go after the defense at some points where they were being, overindulging in certain things. But repeatedly throughout the time that she oversaw the case, she kept scolding the state, saying, you guys are disorganized. How is this case happening?
All right, a couple of matters. First of all, Miss Love, that needs to be the absolute last time that you don't have enough witnesses to carry us at least until 5. And if it happens again and there is something less than an earthquake, an 8-car pileup, somebody died, 3 people died, and so none of the witnesses were available, I may just say you can't have that witness, because at this point in this incredibly long trial, to have to end at 4:25 is not a good use of anybody's time.
This judge is getting tired of this case, obviously. She's sick and tired of this case. She's ready for this case to be over immediately. Can you say immediately? She's tired of the corruption. Tired of it. But let's continue.
Do you understand? I do. All right.
Your Honor,
And so I said to you, is any of it hearsay? Is any of it being offered for the truth? And you said no. And then you turned around.
This judge is sick and tired of this case. I'm telling y'all, right? And I will be too, because it's like, come on now, man. Y'all said this man did this. Y'all said this man did that, and y'all can't even prove a thing. Y'all said this man did this. You said he did that. And you can't prove one thing. Let's continue.
Have the witness testify to whose phone number it was. If that is not offered for the truth, what is it? I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous.
This judge is cooking. She's cooking them. I can figure it out, Judge. It's corrupt. And right now you're just in the middle of corruption. And it's hard to put your finger on it, because if you begin to do those things, you begin to point the finger back at you. And you say, I'm not representing these type of things. You're going to begin to point the finger. Oh, was it Young Thug? Was it this? Was it that? Was it YSL? Was it Gunna? Was it whoever it was? Obviously, it's still us. Was it all of us? Let's just say, how about this is all of us? Everyone go home. Go home, please. Go home. Let's continue.
If it is that, I mean, I don't want to malign
Great word.
the prosecutor standing in front of me right now. So I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with.
That's the word right there. Baffling. Very much so. It is baffling to me, mind-boggling to me that you guys haven't figured it out yet. It took you 2 years to really figure this thing out.
With the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful. But honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.
She was right on point. They putting this case together as they go. They don't have no concrete evidence. The thing that they had concrete, right? It was literally they were stepping in mud. It was quicksand. It was nothing concrete about these things, right? They were just throwing it together and say, you know what? Let's make an example out of this guy. Now, I'm not saying his behavior should be passed or, but everyone is innocent until proven guilty, right? And it's your job to prove the person guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Don't forget that part. Beyond a reasonable doubt. So if it's not beyond a reasonable doubt, and it seems to me it's a lot of doubts that's going on in this situation, then what must you think? Just from the outside looking in. It's filthy in there. It's filth. Simply filth.
And I am sorry to say that. But
I'm sorry, Judge.
This case is being made much more difficult for everybody because of the haphazard way in which it is being presented.
And you have to keep in mind, the case is trying to prove a conspiracy, but everything is confusing. All the witnesses are either non-cooperative or not very useful. And it's a big web, but you have no idea how it connects. You can imagine the judge was up to her last, and the defense was constantly asking for a mistrial. These people don't know what they're doing. They're trying to go this into a mistrial. They're breaking the rules of evidence. The judge denies all the mistrials with prejudice. If I could tell you guys just how much craziness happened in this case, there was one detective who came up, and basically he's an expert in testifying in these cases, but he did something you weren't supposed to. He mentioned the fact that one of the defendants had a criminal history. Now, you might not understand, but you cannot use someone's past criminal acts, generally speaking, as character evidence in a case, because it biases the jury to think that person's always going to be a criminal. And that's not how you should be judged solely on the merit of the charges against you, not whatever prior convictions you have. So this officer did that, and he got thrown off the case. The judge said, no, he's out. He can't come back. The state was upset. But now we get to the most recent incident, which led to this trial pretty much ending. There's a witness that comes up and he's basically snitching on everyone. Says, yes, it's a gang. Okay. He's admitting that as part of his plea so he doesn't go to jail. He's admitting everything is a gang. And they're asking him to read Instagram posts. And the defense objects. And they said, hey, this is going to prejudice my client. Redact it. The state agrees. So they take the same exhibit. They hand it to the witness. All right. And then they ask the witness to read off the exhibit. The witness reads through the post, then he reads through the hashtags, and one of the hashtags is the one that they objected to already, the defense, and the state agreed to redact. But on the exhibit that they gave to the witness, they never redacted it. So this guy starts reading, and she goes, keep reading. The guy keeps reading, and now we get to the part.
See, and that's another thing. They're trying to create their own narrative, right? Even if it's a lie, they're trying to prop it up. They're trying to prop it up. They had no concrete evidence but hearsay. And that's what I don't like about hearsay. I got to find out if Georgia is a hearsay state, meaning that, hey, if you see something, you can say something. It don't have to be true, but you got to go through the court of law in order to prove that it's not true. What in the backward hell is that?
And then she tells him, yeah, read that part too. And he reads it. Immediately, the defense loses it. Objections come up. They ask for a mistrial. The judge screams at the state. And she says something that I think is highly inappropriate. She essentially says,
and then is there a hashtag?
Hashtag no slime left behind. Hashtag 2Bs life size.
Okay. And is there another hashtag?
Free Quay.
Is there another hashtag on the screen?
Knowing that they're doing things illegal, they're going to keep asking the man, is there another hashtag? Man, you're trying to lead them into doing something, right? That's premeditation right there. Could we charge her with premeditative reading? Is that a legal crime? Because you're trying to convict somebody and you basically want him to read the thing that he's not supposed to read. What in the world? Let's get it.
No.
Your Honor.
It's in this paper
Your
right
Honor.
here. You got me reading.
Your Honor, I have to make a motion. Your Honor, we're making a motion for mistrial on behalf of Mr. Nichols.
What the poster is referencing. I don't honestly really care what the poster was referencing. What I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial.
that's not a judge's job. A job should be impartial. But you can see that she's seen how much time. I don't want everyone's time, the jury's time, to be wasted because you guys don't know how to run your case. The defense asked for mistrial with prejudice. And just to make the distinction, with prejudice means that the state cannot retry the case. Without prejudice means that the state can retry it. So the judge's like, I'm not going to give you guys a mistrial with prejudice, but I will give you one without prejudice.
So I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
And that's crazy.
Yes.
You would?
And that's crazy. So no matter what, the court won, they got a conviction. Young Thug won, he's out of jail, but did he really win? Because he's just on a thin line. Brian still didn't have to go to jail. If he did, you know what I'm saying? He still holds his lawyer license. Fulton County, whatever her name is, she's obviously still running for her position. So nothing really changed. But the truth also reigned. It reigned and let you know that this was disgusting. This was filthy.
Who else would?
And then
that means, of course, that the state would be free to try everyone to be all again.
At all. But now she was saying, I will end this case if that's what you guys really want. And I think this was her way of saying, guys, come to some plea agreements because I'm almost done with these people. And the state sees this too. Court is adjourned. About 5 to 6 days go by. Everyone's negotiating. The defendants are negotiating with the prosecutors. To make you guys understand how crazy this is, two of the defendants that were being charged with murder, multiple murders, and life sentences, they were given 8 years with time served, they're looking at maybe 4 or 5 at most. So they're going to be out of jail in a few years. That's how incompetent they were. And that's the kind of deals they had to come down to. Multiple murders is what they were facing, multiple life sentences potentially. And they were getting off with 3 to 5 years.
That's
with
crazy.
time they've already got served. So those defendants end up getting off. And then we come to Young Thug, which was today. Young Thug was also facing 25 years to wherever else. They go through their deliberations, and this is where the state is really disgusting, even in their closing argument. They're doing what's called a non-negotiated plea deal. And what that means is the state and the defense haven't come to terms on a set amount of years to give.
To support this channel, hit that link right there down below. Hit the link right there down below. That is Air's Tech EMF Protector. What that does is protect you against these harmful rays. You know, we as humans, we can only see about 10% of the things that's in front of us, behind us, beside us, or whatever, right? So we're basically walking around blind. We can't see 90% of the things that's really going on. A part of that is these radiations, right? So Air Tech EMF, electromagnetic frequency protectors, actually protect you against harmful electromagnetic frequencies, right? So it's good for your brain power. It stops cancer. It does a lot of things that you wouldn't know that it's doing. And I believe that if you care about your family, if you care about your friends, hit that link down below. Of course, you get a handsome discount for it. Let's continue. That's how you support the channel as well. If you're feeling generous, you can hit the Cash App, you can hit the PayPal. And also, I appreciate everyone for sending me review videos and emailing me on what they want me to react to and what they would like for me to view. I appreciate my audience very much.
The person who's getting the plea deal, they're going to leave it up to the judge. The state gets to make their case for why they think the person should get a bunch of years. The defense gets to make their case, but essentially the plaintiff is now making an admission to some of the charges, saying, I'm guilty of some of this. Judge, I leave it in your hands. How much time do you think I should serve? The state goes up and they start chatting nonsense about why this person deserves 25 years. They start mentioning rap lyrics of, oh, this person said this and this person said that.
The music, Your Honor, contained lyrics such as the following: I rep my life for real, for slimes.
And this is what I don't understand, right? I thought music and art wasn't supposed to be judged because it's damn near like a freedom of speech. Now, we all know in today's sensitive as society, you can't talk about what you want to talk about because everyone is so sensitive. Men and women. Ultra sensitive, supremely sensitive. I don't know why. I don't know what is in their water, what's in their coffee, what's in their tea. But everyone is just sensitive to me. Overly sensitive at that. Like overly sensitive, right? Maybe it's in the food too. So upon creation, upon art and all of these things, the freedom of speech, why are you attacking what people are saying directly to their lifestyle as if they're living it? Now, some may say, hey, some of these rappers, they as soon as they kill somebody, they talk about it. As soon as, you know, that's self-snitching, XYZ. But why, as a rapper, why are you doing that? And if you know that these lawyers or these people are listening to everything that you're saying, right, then why either snitch on yourself or why should it be judged upon you to say, what if it's not real? What if you just conforming with what you know that can sell? You know, so this would be a grand lesson too for all these up and coming musicians and artists and stuff like that. Look, don't talk about what you're doing, not agreeing with what you're doing, right? But it goes to show that they're willing to use everything that you say against you, even if they got to make it up. So be very careful. Let's go.
You know I kill. I'm in the VIP. I got the pistol on my hip. Fuck the police. You praying that you live. I'm praying that I hit. This is slime shit. 100 rounds in a Tahoe. I'm prepared to take them down. Got banana clips.
But then when you...
That wasn't even his lyrics, was it? God damn, people, y'all sloppy as hell.
You look into the lyrics that they're referencing, they're not even lyrics that Young Thug sang. They were lyrics that other people, Nicki Minaj and other artists that sang, or other people had written. And so they were trying to attribute to him some level of guilt. They also were using...
Look, they tried so hard, but Young Thug still got away. But they tried so but Young Thug still got away. Because this is crazy to me. This is crazy to me. You even reciting someone else's lyrics. What in the, like this case, like what were they smoking on? Can somebody tell me what they were smoking on? Because it seemed like the whole court was discombobulated. Wasn't no one on the same page. I'm talking about nobody, not the judge, not the prosecutor. The only people that was on the same page to me was the lawyer and his code and his defendant. They was tight. Everybody else, loosey. Loose. Can we say loose, please?
Using lyrics and claiming these were about gang-related activities and specific murders, but in reality, these lyrics were written before the murders ever happened. The defense attorney, Brian Steele, on retort ends up bringing up a lot of this stuff. He kind of explains how they're misrepresenting a lot of the evidence in their closing statements.
The state has no idea when these lyrics were made. Some of them were made before the shooting of Donovan Thomas that the state is saying this applies to the Donovan Thomas killing with the Tahoe. They are so far afield of where we need to be when we are trying to, God forbid, take somebody's liberty.
Brian Steele is a wonderful lawyer. He's willing to go to jail for his clients. Brian Steele is a wonderful lawyer. You can't, he's going against the system and all of that. But he understands he couldn't just walk out of here, which is a total dismissal. He understood that. He understood that. He understood that.
Your Honor, the state is talking about things like F the judge and I rep my life for real. That's not even said by Mr. Williams, but they don't care to find out. They are on a tunnel vision to try to convict a man.
Then he brings up the most important key that I think changed everything. He tells the judge, when we were negotiating with the state, originally, they were going to give him probation as long as he testified and he admitted that he was the leader of the gang and that he admitted that he did a lot of this stuff. Young Thug refused. He said, I'm not going to admit I was the leader of a gang because I wasn't.
Right.
I'm not going to admit to...
But the state offered him 15 years on probation.
You're not going to admit to anything. That's what you got a lawyer for. Anything you say can be used against you. So why the hell would he admit to anything if he got a top-paid lawyer? Cállate la boca. It means don't say anything. I don't care if you did something. Don't say nothing. Because you got to remember, they can, even if you're innocent, they can make it seem as if you're guilty. Reverse psychology. So to me, he did the right thing on this one. Call my lawyer, please. Thank you. Come again.
But they keep piling on these conditions. He just said, he made up his mind. He said, I'm just going to go with it. I got to get home. Judge may not let me home, but I'm not doing these conditions and admit that I'm the leader and I'm involved in.
So then they're like, fine, then we want you to spend 25 years in prison. And he's like, Judge, if they thought my client was a real danger, why would this single admission be the difference between him going to jail for 25 years and him going free today?
Right.
And the judge took note of that.
All right. So it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration in crafting my sentence.
The state just ends up looking so fucking stupid because now Jeffrey Williams, Young Thug, walks free today, is just on probation, and he was facing 25 to 40 years in jail. This is the longest court case in Georgia's history, the most expensive ever, costing tens of millions of taxpayer money, and they got this guy on fucking probation. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are saying they should have never pled out. They were winning the case. And the truth is the defense was winning the case by a landslide. But The defendants had already been in jail for multiple years now, waiting for this child to.
It's not even that, right? Also, they're not going to let you just slide like that. They got to get something on you, even if it's a little slap on the wrist. That's all. That's all. Even if you're innocent, they got to get something on you, even a slap on the wrist. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. But let's continue. Let's continue.
The end. They had no bond. They weren't seeing their friends and family, and they were just stuck in a prison cell, and they were tired. They just wanted this to end. So Thug took a chance. And honestly, in my head, I don't think he should have taken it, but I'm not him. I can understand why he did. And it ended up well. I just think he was gambling a lot more than I would have been comfortable with, but I understand it. The courts really are sometimes a bit of a circus in some places. The way that some district attorneys decide, and this is a very unethical district attorney's office. The way that.
And I must say, right, when I speak, I'm not talking about all circuit, because some circuit do serve the justice that's needed. But in this one, we're talking about Fulton County. Y'all are corrupt as could be from all angles, even beyond Young Thug. What about Trump? What about this? What about that? Y'all are as corrupt as could be. Corrupt as can be. Can anyone put corrupt in the chat, please?
That they ran this case, the way that they engaged in conversation with people. And I think the judge was also wrong for not granting a mistrial with prejudice, because the state had made so many like disgusting mistakes, and they always said, well, the judge would say, you know, I'm not granting it with prejudice because I don't think this was on purpose. It was a mistake. I think
that's because they really have him on a string right now. What they're doing is any mistake that you make, any step that you take, any moves that you make, they plan on grilling you, because all the thing they're going to do is bring it back up. That's all. But smash that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end. Let's go on to something else real quick. Let's go on to the Megan Thee Stallion, because I couldn't believe what she was talking about as well. And I've been said on my channel, you know what? Ever since Tory Lane broke the internet, I'm trying to tell y'all, ever since Tory Lane broke the internet, as far as remember, he had the NFT streams, right? The non-fungible token. And he sold it to his customers. He X'd out the middleman, which is considered the Interscope and all these labels, right? He X'd them out directly to consumer consumption, right? From him to the consumer, right? He charged them X amount of dollars for his music, plus he gave you a picture with it, right? An NFT, right? The picture and the work, plus the music and the picture end up worth about $50,000. You had bought it for $1, and you have turned $1 into $50,000. My God, I did the math on how much this man made. He broke the internet. He made millions of dollars in a millisecond. He made more money than everybody online. As far as the music industry, he crushed everybody, and he let people know you no longer need the industry. So to me, this was an industry move. This was an industry play. How you think Megan Thee Stallion got up on that stallion? How y'all really think Megan Thee Stallion got up on that stallion? It's like watching women basketball. My God, that shit is so boring. Why y'all even playing the sport? Y'all trying to be so much like men that y'all don't get it. It's enough of us. We need y'all to be y'all so we can be us. We don't need you to be in competition with us, because that is a fairy tale, folk tale story. How you can't never be in competition with us. It's called brute force. Don't y'all ever know that? Y'all know about that? So one thing I found out about society is that they're trying to do this gender role switch, not knowing that it's just confusing people, and people are falling for it. They are falling for it. And Megan Thee Stallion, you have fell off the horse because you're falling for it, because you can't even keep your. These women lie so hard that it's crazy. But let's continue. Let's continue.
You're gonna ask me about that shit, but you always want to talk about this shooting. Why would you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, but you kept catching me.
She said she let him bang not once, but maybe twice on a drunk night. Man, if you saying once or twice, I multiply that by like 1,400 times, man. Because you saying once or twice, man, that's like you asking a woman for her body count, and she's honestly saying, well, I only had sex with 2 people. 2 people who? Times where? What about the people that you don't know about? What are the people that you was drunk with? What if your friends? What if the people that you still consider you having close just in case your relationship don't work out? What about those people? So, madam, what are you really talking about? What are you really insinuating? See, one thing I know about the truth is the truth spanks them all. The truth hurts them all. And the truth is that most of you ladies or like, let's just say gunners and goers and everything else in the bunch. Can we talk about it? Can we speak about it? I may offend some people, but I'm not here to offend you. The real ones know who they are. The fake one knows who they are. You know, some people are pretenders, some people are contenders. It all depends on what you want in this world, right? But most of these women is gonna lie out the side of their mouth. Just let's just say you don't gotta lie to kick it. You know, you gotta tell you don't gotta lie to kick it, sweetheart. You know, if that's who you are, then stay true to who you are. But don't try to bamboozle someone into saying that, well, that's not what I am. You know, I'm something else, but I just don't want to admit that my middle name is Jorge. Like, that's on you. That's on you. If that's how you get down, that's how you get down. Some guys like that, some guys don't. At least a guy would know how to slot you. Like, okay, if you were Jorge, okay, maybe sometimes I like swimming in that. So why not put you on the side? But I ain't about to make you my main thing. No. What sense does that make, right? So making a Stallion to me, you giving me Jorge vibes. That's what I'm saying. You giving me a PT Cruiser vibes. That's all I'm saying. Like, you giving me that type of vibe. You get drunk, anything happens. You have no control, which means you have no self-control, which means you can't be accountable. If you can't be accountable, oh, I see why. Then you mad at Tory for what? For him having another girl to replace you, and you couldn't get down with the program. You couldn't play your position. Well, madam, you already showed your true colors. So as a man, it's his job to replace you, upgrade you, something finer, something better. You know, don't be mad. Don't be mad that you missed out. Please don't be mad, madam. Please don't be mad, madam. Let's continue.
Out of my fucking mind.
Wow. Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
First of all, she took too long to answer. Second of all, see, when a woman try to cry all the time, you know that what are you crying for, right? You're crying because you're guilty. You may be crying because you're filthy. You're crying because you know, well, damn, I kind of did, but I don't want the world to know. And in fact, it kind of hurts me now because I'm the cause of all these things. And this man is serving 10 years in jail because of you. 10 years. So if he do good, he might be home about 8, 7, right? What's going to happen then? What is going to happen then? You know, Megan, the Stallion, would you stay on your top of your horse or would you fall off that horse? And I also heard that what's his name? Jay-Z and them had something to do with this, allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. What is it? Rockefeller Records called Tory Lanez on the day and say it'd be best if you say this and do this and do that. Huh? So then they sent the chess move, which is the Stallion. And y'all see why she's all up twerking on Kamala's videos, dancing on stage, all of this. I'm like, I guess a Jorge gonna be a Jorge, right? Hey, Jorge, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Jorge?
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he...
Hold on. Let's go back to the beginning. So you telling me that you had sexual orientation with the man or you didn't? Which one? Choose your lane, Slim. Which one? Ma'am, choose your lane. And why are you saying, oh, I was drunk? So you want to make people think that they took advantage of you. No, ain't nobody taking advantage of you. You took advantage of them. You took advantage of yourself. I hate when a woman try to say, well, you know what, this happened because I was drunk and I was this and I was intoxicated. I was in my right frame of mind. Man, the alcohol just puts you in the right frame. The alcohol basically don't lie. It's basically summoning who you really are from a spiritual perspective. I was told, listen to people with alcohol, how they talk and how they are. That's who they really are. So look, let's continue.
If I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, but you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Wow. And now she's gonna blame him for catching her out of her mind. Like Kevin Samuel would say, you could not make this up. He caught you, huh? Or did you want to get catched? Because last time I checked, right, a man go fishing. Whoever bites the rod, that's who coming up. So, man, he threw the bait and you bit. And you was drunk and biting at that. Let's continue. Let's continue. I can't believe this, but let's continue. It ain't that I can't believe it. I'm just glad that the world is finally catching up. Catch up.
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Not catch up. Catch up. Not catch up. Catch up.
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect from the fact that he committed a crime.
Oh my God. He ain't trying to deflect, man. You the one doing all the goddamn deflection in the world. You done deflected so hard. Now you reflecting on you deflecting. And your reflection hurts, don't it? You reflecting. See, one thing about the memory is you can't erase what's in there. Once you see it, you see it. And you're like, damn, I had something. Why did I mess this up? I did it for the money. Okay, you did it for the money. Was the money worth it? Was it really worth it? 9 times out of 10, it wasn't. That's why it saddens you. That's why it makes you want to cry. That's why you stay up at night. That's why you still on drugs and doing whatever you want to do, alcohol, drinking, XYZ, because you know, your spirit knows when it has committed something that really don't make sense and is disgenuine to you. That's what it is. It hurts you even more. Every time somebody mentions his name, you might just weep and cry. I wonder why. Every time the name was mentioned, you might just weep and cry. I wonder why. Because your soul, right? It's something that your soul cannot deny. And right now, see, especially when you have intercourse with somebody, that's a soul connection. That is a soul connection. So with that being said, y'all soul was intertwined, right? And you know you played a part in this man's demise. So that's going to eat you up inside. That's the same thing as somebody murdering somebody and killing somebody. You just killed a piece of you. So basically, sweetheart, baby boo, what end up happening to you is that you killed a piece of you as well, right? And you try to cover it with the lies. You try to throw dirt on the man. It didn't work. It's not working because the truth reigns supreme. I tell people that this is not the year or the time to be lying about anything. This is actually the time to be walking in the truth. Because if you don't, my God, my fathers, right? Everything will be revealed. Y'all don't see what happened in the whole industry? All the stars are falling down. Don't y'all see what's really going on? Right? Will anyone ever lied to you in the past and lied to you to try to kick it, to keep it cool? They're like Discovery Channel. Everyone has been discovered. Stay true to who you are. Right? You don't need to be real to anyone else but yourself. And some people lie so much that they begin to lie to themselves. And that's the part that really, really, really hurts. Because at the end of the day, when all the cameras off, when all your friends not around, when you got to be by yourself and you got to go to sleep, your mind begins to race and run. And some people run from things so much that they begin to run out of breath. My advice is run towards the things that you're scared of. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to run out of breath. You know, let's run this back one more time. Because now I got to go off of this one. But let's run this back one more time. Leave them comments down below. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, hit that link. Thanksgiving coming up. Christmas coming up. Hanukkah coming up. New Year's coming up. Do something for your family. If you got kids, you have loved ones, protect them. Protect them. The link is right there down below. The link is right there down below. EdTech. EMF means electromagnetic frequency protector. Click the link down below. I also pin it to the top of my chat while we're chatting about this one.
That shit, but you always want to talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice.
Man, the shooting was staged. We all know that. You talking about you still got bullet wounds and stuff in your foot. How we supposed to know that that's even true, my God? Or my goddess? I can't even put that high prestige name on you. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Megan, you're no good. Megan, you're no good. You got Megan good, and this one right here is Megan no good. Can you repeat? We got Megan good, and this one right here is Megan no good. No bueno. No good. No bueno. She fell off her horse, my God.
On a drunk night, but you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Wow. Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Megan, did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story?
Stop the cap. Can somebody put a cap on? She need to get her a cappuccino. She need to get her a cappuccino. Can somebody put that cap on top of her head? Because we know she got a, let me see if she got a wig on. She already have a cap on. Like, how many caps does she really wear at night? God damn. This is getting ridiculous now, ain't it? How many caps do she really wear at night? Because, holy, what? Let me see if she got a cap on. Oh, she got a cap on that one. And she got a cap on that one. Oh, she capping too much. Fake hair, fake hair, fake hair.
Did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect from the fact that he committed a crime.
Yeah, it's actually crazy to watch her explanation of that, knowing 2 years later she was going to be dropping this bit of information that implicates her as a goddamn liar. The reason that Gayle King was asking that of you is because she's trying to determine how credible of a person, in this case, that you are. You have made...
She is not credible at all. So how the hell was she able to get on the stand if she wasn't a credible witness? Incredible to me. That's why I say it was something else bigger than her. She was a pawn in this situation, right? Check out Rock Nation and everything else who called. You see what Tory Dad said? No, it's her, but she's been told what to do, and it's somebody else that don't want Tory to win because Tory done messed up the whole internet with the NFT. Hell, I got one. I got two of them. Let that sink in. Two of them. So with that being said, come on now, think about it. And I ain't selling mine because I know when he come back, oh, them things gonna sky. Them things gonna. So I'll sit on that for a second or two, you know, no diddy. I'll put that up in the chamber, in the cut for a thing or two. Walk around like I have nothing the whole time, you know. Something is something and everything is everything. Let's go.
Made incredible accusations, and the man is now spending 10 years in prison based off of those accusations. You know, what's also interesting about this as well is I do think that a large component of why this case got out of hand is this whole hashtag believe all women bullshit. The ridiculous.
I don't believe no woman. I don't believe no woman at all. Hell, sometimes I don't believe my mother. I look at her, I say, at the end of the day, you're still a woman, Mom, but come on now. Cappuccino. Can we talk about it, right? Can we talk about it, right? Grab your pots and pans. It's time to cook. Don't forget the spatula. Let's get it.
This thought that a woman is just to be simply believed at the point of accusation. Specifically, usually it's towards sexual assault allegations, but it absolutely applied within this case as well. The thing,
and sometimes these women be claiming sexual assault allegations. Now, I'm not talking about the one that actually got offended in XYZ, right? Prayers will go out to them and, you know, heal trauma, all that good stuff, right? But we talking about the 99.9% of the ones that say they've been sexually assaulted. And the thing it is it's never been that. That's not the situation. There actually was a gunner and actually was a goer, and they had no choice but to say, you know what? We can't say that we did this and we did that because I don't want to be considered a little Jorge. I don't want to be considered a little Stallion or Tatiana. I don't want to be considered that. So I'm going to say, you know what? Somebody touched me and somebody did this and somebody did that. On God. Did that really happen? On God. Because if you tell them on God, they will even swear to God and you begin to say, well, what God do you believe in? Huh? What God is it that you believe in? Because most of y'all put yourself in a situation, and most of y'all keep y'all legs wide open. Y'all legs more open than 7-Eleven. Y'all legs open more than 7-Eleven. The doors are open. You know, doors not closing. Doors not closing. Doors not
Thing is that
closing.
when you got up on your social media platforms and began to lambast that man, and then to come out a couple of years later and just casually admit this, I mean, a smart person probably would have taken this to the grave, but apparently you're not that.
It takes 5 seconds to skip the video and all.
My thing is this, right? My thing is this. So if we all know that she lying now, what does that mean for Tory Lanez case? Can we consider this a mistrial? Can he double back? Can he double back? Because now it's all over the internet and it's going viral. So can the man double back or what? Somebody put down in the chat, justice needs to be served for Tory Lanez. He need to be out tomorrow morning. Thug just getting out hell. Everybody need to be out by tomorrow morning, especially if it's false, if it's not real, and if it's just, it was a plot against you because you represented a bigger conglomerate. Tory Lanez represented a bigger conglomerate. You want to know why? He's telling these people, look, you no longer need the middleman. You no longer need the industry. Hell, they need you. They need you. And they can't do nothing without you. So when people begin to say, Roger that, let me go about it and do it this way and cut out the middleman, because last time I checked, right, everyone's name isn't Malcolm. So why do you want to be in the middle of anything? Why? That's all I'm saying. Why? But let's continue.
Especially if the person got away with it. What's also interesting about this is the amount of backlash that creators, commentators like myself received when we pushed back. When we initially heard her get up on our live stream and throw salt all over Tory Lanez's name with an account from a situation that just didn't make any damn sense. And to get up on Gayle King's platform and to lie about something that Tory Lanez said was a major part of this entire case is absolutely dastardly work. But, you know, we live in this hashtag believe all women society. So mainstream media came to your aid, and even streaming networks came to your aid as well. I got an email from Hulu asking me for a statement now that Megan Thee Stallion was clear. And then found out later they created a whole documentary and they utilized clips from my channel where they were painting me as a black man who just decided to hate on a black woman.
They're trying to divide and conquer and use us against us. If I was you, MTR, and y'all go check MTR mediocre tutorial reviews, go check them out too. I'm gonna leave the link down below. Right? Give credit when credit's due. If I was you, MTR, I'd sue the hell out of Hulu. I sue him so much, Honolulu. I will sue him so much the oceans would sail blue. I will sue him because now what they're saying is that, to me, that's a defamation of character. You didn't do these things. You did not commit these things that they're saying. The only person committed these things was the Stallion. The only person that committed these things was the Stallion. You yourself did not commit these things. In fact, this is the same thing that Mike Tyson was telling you about Hulu. They're trying to do a documentary on him without him even being there. And the man is still alive. How disrespectful and how rude. Why didn't you contract the man to do it? Because you weren't trying to cough up the money under the narrows, but you're trying to make the money off of the man's livelihood, off of the man's struggle, off of the man championships, off of the man, how he just endured through this life that he had. Let's continue.
Perspective of the obvious lies that you were telling.
But in answer to your question, why is she talking about it now? As you see, it's been 2 years. You also see that she is extremely emotional. This is still a lot of pain for her. And I think it is just getting to her.
You want to know why that is? You want to know why she's extremely emotional? Because the truth hurts. Oh yeah, her heart knows what she have done. Her heart and her mind knows what she have done. See, don't judge a woman by, you got to see how she look, because how she look is wonderful too, right? But judge her based on her heart and what's up in her mind, right? Her heart and her mind. That determines if you wants to be with her or not, right? Because most of them, they got the Coca-Cola bottle shape, everything else. But what's up there in their mind? Devilish, demons, demonic. What's in their heart? Heavy. So judge a woman based on their heart and their mind. That's the game that I was told. Truth be told, truth should be sold as well. Truth be told, the truth should be sold as well. Let's continue.
See, it's been 2 years. You also see that she is extremely emotional. This is still a lot of pain for her. And I think it is just getting to her, the stories out there that people don't believe her. It is inconceivable to me that
I don't believe her. Do anyone believe her? How could I believe someone that you get caught up in a lie and then she continues to lie instead of coming down telling the truth? Because now and that's 99.9% of women. Let's just say 95%, because you do have some real ones out here. They don't mind taking accountability for their action, that understand that they was wrong. They will apologize and everything to let you know what's really going on. So I can't say that. But for the ones that don't know or know what they have done and they decide to just lie out their teeth, I don't respect it. Check it. I don't respect it. Check it. Check it. I do not respect it. Check it. I don't respect it. Check it. Let's go.
What if I told you that you could block all ads or give?
What if I told you? It's like that. Leave them comments down below. Let me know what you thought about that one. Leave them comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this one. Let's get it. Let's go.
getting to her, the stories out there that people don't believe her. It is inconceivable to me that we have video, you have a police report, you have a medical report where it said that to this day, guys, she still has bullet fragments in her feet, that people don't believe her. And I think it's just getting to her. She wanted to put her own story out there and stand in her truth.
That is some bull. The lies. There you go. This bitch. The lies.
But I ask you guys, everyone who's watching.
That's true. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. Smash that like button, tell a friend and tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end. Another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. Free Young Thug. Well, you can't say Free Young Thug anymore. Young Thug is free. It ain't free Young Thug. Young Thug is free. Let's reverse engineer it. Megan Thee Stallion, you need to go to jail. Megan Thee Stallion, you need to go to jail because you just put somebody, incarcerated somebody in jail, and then you're going to come back 2 years later and say that it was all cappuccino. You need to go to get him out of jail now. Give him a get him out of jail card. We know you have one. Get him out of jail card. Do what you got to do because Tory Lanez is suffering because of you. And he only going to get better. He's only going to get better. See, the older the man get is the better that they get. But Tory Lanez, not Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, you're going to fall off your horse one day. And when you do, he's going to drive right past you. You're going to fall off your horse one day, and this man is going to skirt right past you. On that note, grab your pots and pans. It's time to cook. And don't forget the spatula. Smash that like button. Tell a friend and tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end. Support the channel. Hit them links down below. Hit them links right there down below. That's all I ask, right? And don't forget, positivity over negativity always.